Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel. My name is Benji. For the past 2 years, I've been teaching myself how to build Eurorack synthesizer modules. I've been releasing most of them as open source, and I talk about my process here on my channel. This video is part 2 of my MiniAttenuMix project, where I've designed and built a Eurorack mixer with Attenuverted inputs. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I'll add a link in the description. It's a very basic mixer circuit. I've talked about the design more in the last video, but if you're curious, here's the schematics. For this video, I'll talk about the PCBs that finally arrived. Shortly after I've recorded the last video, I went straight to KiCad and started designing a printed circuit board for the module. As with most of my recent builds, I decided to go for surface mount components with this one. It's just easier for me to design as well as build. I also want to keep my modules small, and I try to avoid stacking multiple boards as much as I can. It's just cheaper that way. With this design, I wanted to find out how much jacks and pots I can cram into a 4 HP module. It's crazy how tight you can arrange things with a printed circuit board. This is also a great time to talk about the sponsor of this project, PCBWay. They have been my go-to printed circuit board prototyping service. After I finalized the design of my board and panel, all I had to do was export the Gerber files, upload them into PCBWay's online tool, and then placed my order. I typically get my boards a week after I placed my order. I've been using my own handwriting as a font on my front panels, and I'm really happy with how they turn out on PCBWay's silkscreen. If you want to learn more about PCBWay and their services, check out their website at PCBWay.com. They don't only do printed circuit boards, you can also use their CNC and 3D printing services as well. Now back to the build. This is a really simple circuit, so there's a very minimal parts count. I'm really happy with how the layout turned out. The pots and the jacks were really crammed in there. They're actually flush to the edge of the board. For assembly, I decided to hand solder this one with a soldering iron. Previously, I typically go straight to solder paste and a hot air gun, but hand soldering with an iron would let me build one section at a time and test as I go. I've found that this method worked better for me on unverified boards. This way, if it doesn't work, it will be easier for me to trace and debug. I used my microscope that I got a while back from Link Micro. I was easily able to do 0603 parts with no problem. The first issue that I've found with the build is that I've mislabeled the outputs on the front panel. This module has 2 outputs, one is inverted and the other is not. I've swapped their labels on the front panel by mistake. For now, I've resolved this by drawing over them using a paint marker. The second issue that I've encountered after plugging it in was that the LED didn't light up. At first, I thought the module didn't work at all, but apparently I left a little mistake on the schematics that hooked up the LED to the wrong place. The mixer output actually worked perfectly. Getting the LED to work was not that difficult. I only had to remove a resistor that was connected to the LED and replace it with this through-hole one, which has its other end connected to the correct spot. After doing this, the module worked perfectly. I was even able to use it during my last workshop, which I will talk about some other time. I will have these fixes applied on the next version. You can follow me on my Instagram for updates. One minor tweak I'll probably do in the future is that I'll replace these spots with ones with a center detent. Because these are attenuverters, zero volume actually lies in the middle. So it would be nice if there's a tactile bump whenever you're on 0. But that doesn't need any changes in the schematic. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this build. That would be all for now. All of my files and documentations for this module are available on my website, benjaumodular.com. As always, here's a little jam I made using the module. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the